These runs on these hot summer days, these hot summer evenings, they're crucial. Okay, so something to think about, I suppose. Something to think about, but is this. A lot of people don't know themselves, and that's not a demeaning or condescending statement. Okay, so what I mean by that is, okay, in this video I want to talk about darkness, and I want to talk about as much in terms of human darkness and the darkness within, the malevolence, the rapaciousness, the absolute depravity, the baseness that exists in all of us, okay? All of us, we're human beings, all right? So I'm trying to think of the phrase being something like, the line between good and evil runs down the middle of every man's heart. And by man, that's women as well, because it was written in an earlier time. And I forget who wrote that. So what I'm trying to say here is that some people choose or have no call for looking into the darkness of themselves, of the world, of anything. And so when you try to tell those people about the darkness that exists within themselves and within other people, they don't even comprehend of it. They don't even, they can't imagine it, you know? And so it's like talking to people who've never seen a particular color. It's like talking to people who've never seen, you can't give another person your own understanding. But if you don't look into the darkness, you won't see what's in there, is what I'm saying. And I've had call to look into my own darkness and look into my own soul and my own spirit at times. I've been through a lot in my life, and so I've had call for that, you know. And so you get to see what's in the darkness. When you look into the dark, you see what sits in there, what lies in there, and you get an understanding for what's in the darkness. And it gives you insight and depth into your own understanding of your own being, and therefore of an understanding of the world around you and humanity. But I've had arguments and discussions with people who've never done this, and I've seen them actively move their intention, their attention, and their awareness away. They just won't even allow the words to be spoken, because they just can't allow for the fact of darkness, you know, or what exists in the darkness. And so for them, they only focus on the light. And that's a good thing. Obviously, you know, you focus on the positive, you focus on life, you focus on what makes life worth living. And you focus on making a good life in this world. But the point of this video that I'm making now is that, like, if you don't know about what's in the darkness, if you don't see it or have never gazed into the darkness, then when somebody talks to you about it, or you talk about the depravity of other human beings, the sheer malevolence and violence, and they can't even comprehend it. It's like, no, that doesn't exist. And I've had people right in front of me do that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Do you think this is that you would do this? Do you think I would do this? And I would say, no, of course not, you know. But under the right circumstances, and under the right circumstances, people in times of war, men in times of war who are the most benevolent people, under the right strains and the right conditions and the right pressures and the right authority, and have done the most depraved things to other human beings under the right conditions. So it exists within us all, you know, this darkness. It's there, and if you aren't aware of it, if you aren't aware that that exists, there's a whole side to you that you don't even know about. There's a whole side to you that you can't comprehend, and will always blindside you, you know, take you from without even seeing, You know, you think it's all about the light. You think that's all there is. It's not. It's what you feed in order to make a beautiful life, in order to make a beautiful world. But the darkness also exists, and what's in the darkness also exists. And so you can't give another person your understanding. That's what I'm trying to say.